Hello, I'm Ms. Gastler, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use the bulk editor, the greatest invention of all time on Schoology. Okay, maybe it's not the greatest, but I really like it. The bulk editor allows you to quickly change the properties, so to speak, of assignments that you have, and you access the bulk editor through the gradebook. Once you go into the gradebook, all of your assignments that you have will be listed unless they are ungraded, which a bunch of mine are ungraded. So I'm not even sure anything's going to show up in my gradebook. But you know what? I can use the the bulk editor to make them show up. I have a cat here. She's going to stick her face in while this is loading. So here's what I have. I don't have any students signed up in this class. It's called Meteorology Planning, and I labeled the section Fire Truck because why not? It seemed like a good thing. Eventually, this is going to load something that is for syncing if you have the ability to do that to your gradebook program if it's outside of Schoology. These little 3 dots right here is how you get to the bulk editor. Bulk editing is glorious. Okay, so you'll notice that I don't have any grades or any assignments in my gradebook right now because the assignments that I have in there are ungraded. So I can come in here. I actually haven't made any grading categories yet, so I can't actually change them. But the things that you can change in here that are useful to know is the name. Maybe I don't like Research 1. Maybe this is actually supposed to be Research Part 1, and this is supposed to be Test Part 1, or maybe it's online only or something like that. Who knows? I can add that in there. I can change the points. I meant for that to be 50. This one should have been 150. Whoops, 150. I can add a rubric. I don't usually change the factor because I don't want my things to be worth more points than they are. I just change the point value instead. You can give them, these are things that I think my district has given me access to. Otherwise, if you have added a rubric to the course to be able to use, you would find it here if you've done that. We can add an A+ thing here, and then we can add a due date. So maybe it was due, what is today? It's the 30th. The 20th, the 28th. Okay, so maybe these assignments needed a due date, so I'm going to go ahead and put them in here. And so now these are going to be in here. You'll find that when you have lots and lots of assignments, that they won't all fit on the page. I want to say that it's 20 assignments per page. And they organize them by due date first. And if there's no due date, they're organized alphabetically. But if there's more than one page, they're not in alphabetical order on the page. So you might have A through Z on page 1 and A through Z on page 2 and A through Z on page 3. I don't know how it decides what's going to be on page 1 and page 2 and page 3. But at least due dates, they're always in order of the due date. And so you can get to the next page, but you might be on page 3 and still have assignments that don't have a date. But it's fine. As long as you know what the assignment is called, it's not too bad to go through. And you can also add assignments from the bulk editor. I have never done that because I like to put it in folders, and I don't think it adds it to a folder here. The shift due dates is really nice if you're on an alternating block and you want the due dates to match the actual day that your students did something. You can shift the due dates there. You have to be careful, though, because it will move it to a Saturday if it was on a Friday, and my gradebook program doesn't let you change that. This button right here is the best button that it's come up with, and this is actually on a bunch of different pages. So whenever you see this little button that looks like a little notebook with an arrow, this lets you go to the same place you're at in a different course. So if I wanted to, maybe I'm changing everything in this meteorology course, and then maybe next I need to change everything in chemistry. So I'm going to go over to my chemistry course, and when I click on it, it's going to take me straight to the bulk editor for chemistry, this district chemistry student version class. And then once I'm in there, which maybe I'll show you because it's going to be more interesting. Once I'm in there, then I can make all the changes that I want to my district chemistry assignments. Yep, there they are. So you can see that they are in alphabetical order here. I have not included any due dates on any of these, and I think all of these are listed as 100 points. At some point in time, I'm going to go in and add categories, and I can change the due date, so I can do all that. You can even get rid of assignments here. I have done that before. This little thing right here lets you publish and unpublish an assignment. I prefer to do that by folder, but if you maybe came across an assignment that you don't remember unpublishing, you could fix that pretty easily here. When you click on this, it used to take you back to the materials, but I'm kind of curious to see what happens right now because the last time, yeah, it takes me back to updates. I have, in some situations, that's taken me back to the gradebook. If you want to go back to the gradebook from here, you may have to navigate to the gradebook a different way, but that's using the bulk editor. The bulk editor is really valuable. If you're using student completion rules, you will need the bulk editor in order to sync your grades to your gradebook program if your gradebook program requires due dates. So I work in a district where we use a gradebook program called eSchool, and eSchool requires a due date. eSchool is really picky about their due dates, so you can't have Saturdays or Sundays, and if school gets canceled for snow, you can't use that as a due date anymore. And so I have to have due dates if I'm going to sync, and the bulk editor is the way that I can put due dates on assignments that I have listed in completion rules, and that's the only way you can put in a due date on a completion ruled assignment. So I hope you found that informative. Thanks for watching.